Hello to Year 8 and to all the students of Year 8 and to all the parents and carers of Year 8. So welcome to our launch evening for Year 8 and thank you for taking time to view this presentation. First of all, I'll introduce myself. Some of you may be aware of me or have met me, but it's tricky with these post-pandemic times. So anyway, I am Simon Greening, and my role is Race and Standards Leader for Year 8, well, Year 7, 8, and some of Year 9. So I'm going to be working with Year 8 this year, and my role is to help every Year 8 student be the best they can be here at Bingley Grammar School, at BGS. And what I'm going to do is support every student in their learning and to ensure that all students make the best progress possible. And I thought that the current Year 8 students have made such a cracking start in Year 7, despite all the tricky and difficult circumstances. And it's great now to see the new Year 8 students set into a much more normal life here at Bingley Grammar School. And I really want to see students seize the opportunity and get, as my picture shows here, blast off and really do a great launch into Year 8. In terms of our approach for Year 8 then, it goes without saying, we want all our students in Year 8 to be safe, but also to feel safe, and obviously to be happy and feel happy, and combine them with all the opportunities available, the high skill level of our staff, the great teaching and learning that goes on, that essentially Year 8 will be well or brilliantly educated and allowed to be the best they can be, not only in Year 8, but into Year 9 and beyond. And our fundamental aims, we want everybody, as it says there in the caption, to belong, grow and succeed. To belong here at Bingley Grammar School, to grow here in our community, here at Bingley Grammar School, and obviously to succeed here at Bingley Grammar School, and then as us enable them to make a great next step to wherever they go beyond Bingley Grammar School. So we want all students in Year 8 to be as successful as they can be. We want everybody to try their best at all times. And we include our staff ourselves as that. We will set ourselves high goals. We'll set students high goals and high standards, because we know just how great our students can be, and we want them to belong and grow and succeed. So rest assured, as we said, we're friendly, we're safe, and we are a happy school. And students are at the very core of what we do. Okay, and all our students are allowed to succeed. And by every decision we take is about what's right for students, no matter whether it's a big, wide, important strategic decision or a small day-to-day logistics. It's about the students at the core and heart of what we do. And we really are about creating that climate which allows for the greatest and best learning for our students. So to do this, first of all, we have a fantastic pastoral behaviour support team for Year 8. I'll introduce you, if you don't already know, Mr. Robert Booth. He's Associate Assistant Head Teacher, and he has responsibility for behaviour, character and culture in both Year 7 and Year 8. And alongside his teaching duties, he's going to be working with both Mrs. Roberts and Mrs. Forge. So Mrs. Roberts is the head of Key Stage for, again, both Year 7 and 8. And she hasn't a teaching commitment, as neither has Mrs. Forge, so really are available 100% to deal with Year 8 as they make their way through the year with a view to a successful move into Year 9. So we've got Mrs. Adele Roberts, adele.roberts@bingleygrammar.org, and Mrs. Forge, our dedicated student support officer for Year 8. And she's, no doubt many of you know Mrs. Forge already, because she's been working with you guys for over a year already. That's anita.forge@bingleygrammar.org. I've given you out their contact numbers because they will no doubt probably be the first port or point of reference or call for you guys if you have any queries moving forward. So in terms of the school day and timetables and other things like lanyards for year 8, again, it's very different from where we were last year for year 8. This year, we're much back to looking like a normal school, which is really good to see. So, Binley Wham School, we operate a 2-week timetable. We have weeks A and B. I'm presenting to you today on Friday the 17th, so we're just towards the end of a week B. Next week will be a week A. So please do make sure that you have a look at the timetables that the Year 7 students have, just to make sure if there are any small differences between a week A and a week B. We also have an early finish on a Wednesday week B at 2:10, and this is used for staff training. Again, this happened this week, and as far as I'm aware, all things went well, and students seem to get their head around the fact there's a slightly different timings of that day. All students in year 8 gain themselves a 20-minute break in the morning and 30 minutes in the lunchtime. And that certainly is more than we had last year. And I think the time is welcome. The queues are efficient at lunchtime. And it does seem, from what I see, is that students are able to get some food, whether it's provided on site or they've brought their own, and still allow time some rest and relaxation and meeting friends and colleagues. At the end of the school day, we are staggering the year groups leaving. Currently, we're saying to year 8 and year 9, please leave by 2:45. This allows a good time to get to trains, buses, or lifts home, or however people walk home. And so far, again, from my point of view, it's gone well. All year 8 students, as in fact all students, have lanyards to wear. They've been given out. Year 8 have their yellow lanyards. And again, this helps with us with safeguarding, identifying quickly which year group students are in. And it also helps with paying for lunches. So please, please, please make sure they're worn and visible at all times. In terms of key dates, I thought parents, carers might be interested in, well, there's many key dates, but these I think are, certainly at this point, some of the key ones for you to know. We've got the week commencing the 4th of October. For year 8, we've got some in-class assessments. And it'll be a couple of weeks after that, that by the time the tests are marked and processed by the school, and there will be a report sent home via the parental email. We've also got on the 18th of October, school photos. So please, students, everyone will be photographed, and make sure you all look smart for that day. Again, week commencing the 7th of Feb, more in-class assessments. Again, we can then track progress over the year, and we can see just where you are and how effectively everybody in year 8 is learning and progressing. We also have on the Wednesday, the 23rd of March, an option evening for our year 8 students, as students in year 8 start to consider the subjects that they want to take forward into year 9 and beyond. Really important then that students consider this very carefully. Again, there'll be more guidance nearer the time. And linked quite close to that, as you can see, a week later will be the year 8 parents' evening. So those for me are some of the key dates for year 8. Again, there'll be other things going on, but that for me is the sort of the real key dates that you need. In terms of other support, I think you've got class charts, and I think by now all year 8 students should be familiar with class charts. But please, 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 parents, log on, track your year 7 student, their homework, look at what positives and rewards are being given out, and maybe, unfortunately, there might be the odd other issue that gets raised by the teacher. But it's important to have a look and see what's going on. So please, 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 I'm really grateful if everyone could engage with that. We've got student Gmail, and this allows for effective in-school communication. And we've also got the maths department using Hegarty Maths. Again, I think this is an amazing maths resource, and maths department uses this as their main homework tool. So lots of practice, lots of homework, lots of little videos for utilising this resource. And finally, the science faculty have also asked to let everybody know that they are using the Educate resource, again, which is an effective homework tool for science. So again, those are some of the online tools that you as a parent or carer of year 8 students should be aware of. Finally, some of the other key staff, and these are the folks that really do offer other support. So we've got our Year 8 character and culture team I've already introduced you to, but I also really want to draw your attention to some of these people that some of you may be aware of, some of you may all be working with, but just in case, I'll let you know. So we've got Mr. Matthew Atkinson, who is our school designated safeguarding lead and also assistant head. We've got Mr. Robin Ward, our deputy designated safeguarding lead and also associate assistant head. And finally, we've got Mrs. Emily Rawling, lead student support officer with responsibility for safeguarding. So again, it might be that you won't or never meet these people, but I really do feel that it is important that you know who they are. We've got Mr. Brian Padden, who's our student support officer. He has responsibility for looked after children here at Billing Grammar School. And then Mrs. Paul Robinson, our special educational need coordinator, who works with her team down in the Achievement Centre at the bottom of the BG corridor. And part of her team is Mrs. Mathers Riley, who is a learning support specialist and works with students considering issues around autism and communication interaction. So those are some of the other key members of staff that we might be working with Year 8 students. So I'm just going to start to draw my launch presentation together for Year 8. Many thanks for listening. And I just want to sort of finalise by saying that Year 8, it's great to see them now having, I think, a more normal school life after the pandemic affected Year 7. And I'm really excited to see how Year 8 progressed this year into 2021, 22 and beyond. And I really do want to urge them and parents and carers to really make the most of all the opportunities we have at this fantastic school and bring us all back to that fact that I really am expecting and looking forward to seeing all students belong and growing here at Bingley Grammar School and obviously succeeding. So many thanks for listening and I look forward to meeting you all this year.
Good evening. As the slide says, my name is Mr. Atkinson and I look after behaviour, character and culture here at Bingley Grammar School. And my role is to work with the pastoral team, ensuring we're consistent in our approach for behaviour, character and culture. And what that means, in its most basic sense, is that each year group has something they're known for, so they belong, grow, succeed while here. For example, in Year 7, this year it's commitment, dedication and a positive attitude will help you reach your potential. At Year 8, let's be inspired to stay positive, work hard and make it happen. In Year 9, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Year 10, aiming high, working hard, never giving up. And in Year 11, high standards, high grades. This, I said, had been created by the pastoral team, and it's something they come back to in their assemblies each week. Therefore, reminding the students what it is we're aiming towards. This is also underpinned by the key skills of leadership, organisation, resilience, initiative and communication, which stands for LORIC, which is an essential part of our award system here at Bingley Grammar School. Overall, this can be broken down into this one slide. It basically means being ready to learn every morning, on time, fully equipped and in perfect uniform, engaged and learning in every lesson, a positive, appropriate behaviour at all times, and 97% attendance, minimum. And realistically, over these next slides, I'll break that down in more detail for you. So first and foremost, that uniform that's talked about. We get frequently asked questions about this, and it's something I released to all parents in July and again in September. On the left here, we have the black shoes that are allowed or trainers. And on the right, they're not allowed. And as you can see very clearly what is and what isn't. Then also as well, trousers, leggings, not jeans. Yet again, some pictures to help support you. And one thing I will say is, and sometimes we get an awful lot, is parents say to us, well, my child said that everybody else is wearing them. I can assure you they're not. There's 330 students in a year group, and there might be 2 or 3, but not 330. And if you're ever unsure before you buy a uniform, get in contact with the pastoral team. I know some people even send in pictures. Absolutely fine, and we'll just make sure that we've got the right uniform and we're set, ready for that new year. Other things, equipment, the pens, the pencils, the rulers. Very, very important, because without them, we can't do the learning. Yes, we can lend people, but we don't want to be doing that every single lesson. We want them to have that responsibility for their possessions. If you want to buy, for example, a calculator, we can do this through our school shop on parent pay. And it's the same with the lanyards and ID badge. This must be worn at all times. Massive safeguarding feature, because realistically it identifies who they are. And also, most importantly, it gets them through the lunch queue quicker. So therefore, all these things are essential and are available through parent pay. And finally, attendance. As you can see from this graphic, 95% attendance would actually equal 9.5 days lost per year. That's nearly 2 weeks of education. It might sound great when you go 95% attendance. That's amazing. In a test, if I got 95%, wow, awesome. But actually, when you think about it in terms of attendance here at school, that does have an impact. Then look at 90%. That's 19 days. So therefore, if there are any barriers to learning, what we ask is that you do get in contact with us, because we want to work with you to get rid of those barriers. Those barriers could be anxiety. It could be something to do with the well-being. It could be that having struggled with the buses and organisation. Yet again, these are all things we can help with. We will contact you when attendance does drop below some of these key figures. Some of those letters will come out, and it might just be a nudge letter. It might just be contact us if there's anything that we're not aware of. And that is key. Please stay in contact with us. So talking of contact, we use class charts and rewards. Hopefully, your son or daughter's front screen looks a lot like this one. If you're unsure what I'm talking about, please contact james.vasey@bingleygrammar.org and he'll be able to give you your login. We have sent these out a couple of times, so just be aware that it is in your email. As I said, contact james.vasey. We use these for our reward systems. And we do public rewards, okay, for example, chocolate. I know it's not the healthiest thing, but it's what the students like. And so therefore we use that as part of our reward system. Another part is we send home certificates. We used to give these to the students in their hands. Unfortunately, unlike primary school, parents, you're not checking the bags. Or sometimes the child hasn't got a big enough bag to fit the A4 certificate in. Therefore, we send these home so you can celebrate with them at home. So look out for those over the coming months and over the coming terms, okay, as we move forward. And in terms of giving that good news, we give those verbal rewards. The next step is that class charts reward, which you will see when it goes ping, okay, on your mobile phone. And as I said earlier, leadership, organisation, resilience, initiative and communication are the key facts we look for. The other aspect is the postcard of praise. We're bringing that back this year, so it might be they bring home a postcard. This fits in their pocket, so do check their trousers, do check their blazers if they're not showing you those postcards. Yet again, put it on the fridge. And I always say to the students, is that worth a Costa coffee? Is that worth the McDonald's? Is that worth a trip out? Bit of bribery, but also as well, it's about celebrating together, celebrating that success. Yet again, like I said, it's all linked into this. And I keep going back to this because these are the key skills we want our students to leave with. There are times, though, where we'll have to deliver the bad news. And that starts with a choice. We give the students a choice to change that behaviour. The next step after that, if they're not making that choice, is to have a conversation with a member of staff. This is very, very powerful. And this is in their own time. And the point of this is that they rebuild that relationship together. And therefore, for the next lesson, things are being corrected and we're ready to learn. Finally, there may be detentions issued. Yet again, these are on different nights through the week, but I'm not going to dwell on that because that is a minority here at Bingley Grammar School. So, further questions. Mobile phones. Year 7 to 9, mobile phones are not allowed out during the school day. Before and after school, absolutely fine. Year 10 and 11, out at break and lunch. If we find them out at other times, we will confiscate those mobile phones and they go to the year team and picked up at the end of the day. For persistent, okay, we will ask parents to come and pick those up. We don't believe mobile phones need to be out unless in direction of a teacher to do some work potentially. Also, maturity levels at year 7 to 9, we've found that are not quite there for using them responsibly. And that comes onto social media. We really ask that you monitor your son and daughter's use of it at home. We want them to focus on their education, not what was being posted online the previous evening. We don't want it to distract them, or worse still, affect their well-being. I'm sure you've seen the news talking about social media and the effect that it has. So therefore, there's a couple of links here that you'll be able to access on these slides, because obviously this presentation is live here now, or pre-recorded, but realistically as well, you'll be able to access these slides and therefore use the links and take them forward and have a look at this if you're unsure about how your son and daughter are using social media. And if well-being is affected, we've got a number of routes here at school that we can help support your son or daughter. The internal route, where it says SSO, that's our student support officer. And they might have a one-to-one, a small group, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, where they can come and talk with that member of staff. It might be Mr. Padden or Mrs. Rawling becomes involved for further support, or it might be signpost for routes 1 and 2. Essential though to this is you being in contact with us. If you've got a worry, let us know. Contact the year teams, contact the pastoral teams so they are aware, and then we can work together to support your son or daughter. As I said, it might be us or it might be others, but we can point in the right direction. One of those directions is Kooth. This is an NHS website, so please don't be worried about it. It's sponsored by them. Within this, there are chat rooms, there are sponsored counsellors on there as well, where they can post questions. As I said, don't worry about this website. This is the one where social media, yes, use this. Because it might be they're not ready to talk yet. And actually, going on this, they find it easier, and then they might want to talk later. So yet again, another link for you there and how we can support well-being. But please do get in contact if there's any problems or worries. And finally, I come to shaping the school, and that belong, grow, succeed. We want the students to help shape our school. And through that, we have year group councils and whole school council. And this will be advertised in the next coming weeks. And by October, we'll have our year group council set up. And therefore, then they'll feed into the whole group council, and we can shape how the school develops in the future. So overall, if you've got any questions from tonight's presentation, please sign up to or speak to a member of staff using the email link sent last week. And we'll speak to you about any questions that you may have, okay, or any worries that you may have. As I said, please keep in contact with us. Please keep us informed. And I thank you very much for listening tonight. Thank you.